welcome. I'm Mrs. Mallon, and we'll go through an orientation tonight for the ACNT 1303, Section 002. And this is the hybrid section of the Introduction to Accounting. This is what your book looks like. Let everybody see it at home too. Your book should have drilled pages, which means there are 3 holes punched in those. Okay.
Rebecca Santana.
And will you do a name chant for me, Rebecca, right up there? And you can sit anywhere. But your book should have the book like this with 3 holes in it. Yours isn't bound like this one. And then you should have a workbook that's separate. And then a blue envelope in there that has a code. And then a white envelope that has large papers in it. It has a payroll register and it has some worksheets. Okay, if you don't have your book, they had plenty of them over at the bookstore the other day when I was there. How much was it? Does anybody remember?
I don't remember. I think it was like 97 or 98, I think.
It's the cheapest way that I can get the book. It is a consumable book, so they will not buy it back from you. All right? And you'll probably want to keep it if you're going to be taking other accounting classes, because this will be the basics. You're going to always refer to this. Accounting doesn't change very often, so you can always refer to this as you're taking your other classes. So you should have the book with holes drilled in it, a workbook, which will be extra credit if you turn that in to me, because you won't use that book. Because your workbook pages are in the back of this book. And I don't know why they bundle it with an extra workbook. But I will offer you extra credit to turn that one in. Yes. Okay. Then you should have that big white envelope that has payroll registers and worksheets in it. And then the blue access code to My Accounting Lab. The My Accounting Lab is where you'll be doing all of your homework assignments. Now we do have some paper and pencil things that we'll be doing in this class also. It's not a truly online class. It is a hybrid course or blended, which means part of it will be online, part of it will be face-to-face. You can text me, you can call me, you can email me. I would prefer that you email me within the course, and then I have a record of all of those emails. Okay? I have one form that I would like for you to fill out tonight, and when we take the final exam, you'll get to answer some of the other questions on here. I just want you to do the top 3 bulleted items for me. I'm asking you some questions about why you're taking the course, what you hope to get out of the course, and what you're expecting from me. So just the first 3. All of the forms that I'll be giving you tonight are also in Canvas. So everything that I'm giving you tonight is also there if you want to print it, if you misplace it. What?
Do you just want the response?
Just on the first 3. The last 2 we'll do when we take our final exam. And when you're finished with the first 3, there's a green basket up here at the table where you did your name tents. Just put it up there in that basket. While we're talking, I'm going to pass around a sign-in sheet. If you'll just put your name and a phone number and your favorite email on there, just so I have a way to contact you in case I can't get in touch with you through Canvas. So that can just be passed around. Everybody sign up for me. The next sheet I'm passing back is just an information sheet, contact information for me. Some of the face-to-face items won't pertain to us unless we're meeting on that Tuesday night. But just a few items that you need to remember. This is a tobacco or a smoke-free campus, but I did include no tobacco and no vaping. I had a student last semester that was doing that in my class, and our e-syllabus doesn't address that. So it's on my sheet. I don't want you to be doing that in class. I've also listed the day schedule. I meet this class on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10:50 until 12:40. You are welcome to come to that class if you want to. We'll stay on this basically the same schedule. You have their schedule available to you in Canvas, and then you'll have your schedule. So if you want to come during the day to take the test, you can do that and not come on that Tuesday night. But you just need to let me know. Right? My information is up at the top. I have been at San Antonio College full-time for 9 years. And before that, I taught this class as an adjunct faculty for 5 years while I taught at Madison High School in the Northeast School District. I was there for 19 years, and this was such a nice change. When a full-time position came up, and I don't think we'll ever have another full-time position in our department, I applied. And it was a good move for me. It was getting to the point where there was just too much discipline with the 9th graders at the high school level. So this was a very good change. I don't have any discipline. I will remind you that you haven't submitted your homework, but I don't have to keep after you. So that part's kind of nice. I love teaching accounting. Somebody was comparing an instructor they had for financial accounting this summer, and we were talking about the difference between someone who has had education classes and someone who has a degree in an area. Let's say you've worked as a CPA. You may not have education classes. Just because you have the knowledge in that subject doesn't mean that you can teach it. So I've had a couple of my CPA friends to say, Where did you learn that technique? Why did you teach it that way? Fill this one out for me and put it in the green basket and do a name tent for me.
Okay.
And what's your name?
Yvette?
Okay. And why are you late?
I'm kind of a late worker.
Okay, but was parking bad?
A little bit.
Was
yeah.
it? Okay. All right, next time, and you'll have my text, you can just text me for that. Okay. So if you have the education classes, I think you could teach something you didn't even know, because you know where you have to start and where you have to end up. But some of my CPA friends would say, where did you learn that concept? Where did you learn how to teach that part of accounting? And I said, in my methods class. She'd never had a methods course. Her degree is in accounting. She has a bachelor's and a master's degree in accounting, so there's a little difference there. So we were talking about that today, and this class, the Intro to Accounting, you will learn a little bit about a lot of things in accounting. You're not going to be an expert. There are lots of other classes that you'll need to take as you pursue that accounting degree. We'll do 2 chapters on payroll, but we have an entire class on payroll. So you'll take other payroll classes. So we'll just do 2 chapters on payroll. So you'll know a little bit about a lot of things, but you will not be an expert. You'll know the terms. So when you take those other accounting classes, you'll know what they're talking about. I've had some students that have taken the principles of accounting in this class at the same time, and the instructor in the other class has said, you're doing such a good job in here. You know, how are you doing that? How are you doing so well on all of the assignments? And she said, I'm taking the principles at the same time. So we would learn the principles in here of accounting, and then she could apply those in the other class. So this is your foundation course. If you're working in a business right now and you're doing some accounting, is anybody doing it? Maybe you know what to do because someone has shown you what to do, but you don't know why you're doing it, right? So somebody can always be trained to do something. You're in here because you want to know why this is a debit and why this is a credit, why we're doing that transaction that way. So that's what we're going to learn in here. We're going to learn the foundation so that you can be successful in those other accounting classes. We'll do a little bit in Canvas because the rest of my accounting classes are online. So my Peachtree class and my QuickBooks class and the second part of this course, they are online. Your Excel class is online. So we'll do a little bit of Canvas so that you feel really comfortable with using that learning management system. So when you take those online classes, you won't be like those students that emailed me today, where do I start? Hello, I've already sent out an email. I did that yesterday and on Friday. So they didn't check their emails.
So our introduction to Canvas will be useful because when you do online, you do it on Canvas?
Yes, in Canvas. So we'll do a little bit of Canvas tonight. I want you to feel comfortable about how to submit your work. We'll log into My Accounting Lab, which is the website that goes with the book. Right, so we'll do both of those. And then I brought up the wiki, which just has links to YouTube videos that go with the topics that we're going to be talking about. Sometimes you need a little bit more than just what my lectures are giving you. You've read it, you've watched the video. Some of my students say they watch it over and over again until they get it, because it's right there, it's available. This is someone else. Did I just lose the connection? This is someone else talking about those subjects. So our first chapter is Accounting Concepts and Procedures, and I found 3 videos of someone else talking about that. So you can use those if you want to. It's just an additional group of resources. I've stopped with chapter 3 because I just started this, so I have the rest of the chapters to find. And there are some instructors that put all of their things on YouTube. I do too, but I don't make mine public for people to find. These people did. So I just put a link on there. So if you're not sure about a topic that we're talking about, then just go to this website, and that link is on the home page in Canvas. When you log into your ACEs, if you can see, I hope you can see that on the camera. Canvas login is down here to the right. You also can get into it from my courses. So you can get into it a couple of different ways. And we are the 002. You can customize that list if you want to. I have 71 courses listed under Canvas, and I hide the ones that are not active, or the ones that I'm not using Canvas for. If you want a copy of the e-syllabus, the link is right there. Several people said they couldn't print off the assignment sheet. I don't know why. I don't know whether you have to be logged in. I was just going to it from the SAC website. But all of your courses should be under Concourse, which is where the course syllabus are located. And that's off of the website. So when you click on that, you'll see my e-syllabus. Here's the book. I think the CRN number is different on this year's package, but the picture is there. So you can see that, and I think I sent you the link to my other website that shows the courses that I teach in the books. I think sometimes when they bundle it, they just put a different number on it, and then they don't tell us that. So that's the book. Under Canvas, on the settings portion up in the upper right-hand corner, and I just clicked on the settings right here, I'd like for you to change your picture, and you might want to do that from your computer where you have your pictures. Doesn't have to be a personal picture. In an online class, it's kind of nice to have your personal picture. I had a silly accounting picture on mine last year, and then I changed it back to my picture, and several of my online students made the comment that they would recognize me now in the hallway. So I put the personal picture. So it doesn't hurt to put the personal picture. I don't know. I've used this picture for other things, so when I Google my name, that picture always comes up as an image. I don't know whether they take it from Canvas. It's on another website too. It was just a picture that we had taken here at school. But I did change it just so that students would actually be able to connect a face with that name instead of my silly accounting picture. But under the settings, you also have an opportunity to add an email address there. And this is probably my favorite part of Canvas. Students do not check their Alamo emails. When was the last time you checked yours? Okay, some of you do, but I have students that never check it, and they probably have 500 gazillion emails in there because they don't check it. In Canvas, you can change it to your favorite email. So if you'll click on the settings, and you have to have access to your email, so you might want to wait and do this at home, but click on the settings and then add an email address. Then you need to verify it through that email to say, yes, I want Canvas to send the emails to this email address. You have to verify it through your email. And then you should have the star right here on that other email. Okay, the star has to be on your favorite email. It will also go to your Alamo, but it will go there also. Now, I haven't had much success with the text. and someone this morning said he got it to work. It wasn't worth trying to figure it out to get a text. If it's coming to my phone, I can read it from there. There's also a Canvas app, and I have that information under the course documents within our course in Canvas. So if you want to put that app on there, I can see my grades, I can see my emails, I can reply to emails from my app. I can't reply to the emails on my phone, but I can with the app. So you might want to use that app if you want to. You have to click on the edit settings to do that, and then I think there's a save down here at the very bottom when you do make some changes. But you have to scroll with this bar over to the right all the way down to the bottom to change it. Then go back to your settings and check it again to make sure that the star is beside your favorite email. To change your picture, you just click on this and insert a picture. It's easy. Okay? What?
I'm sorry, say it again. Click on, okay.
To change the picture, you just click on the picture. And or you have a silhouette there. But you have to have access to your pictures, so it's easier to do it from your computer. Okay? And then to check your email, I call it the email, but here it's called an inbox. Canvas is a wiki. The website where we're looking at the YouTube videos, that's a wiki also. So Canvas used the principle that I used on my website. It works the same way. You'll see some things that are similar when you're on that wiki and when you're in Canvas. But you can click on your inbox, see I call it email, and check your messages. When you get ready to send an email, if you want, and that's one of your assignments that you need to do, is to send me an email in Canvas. Click on your inbox, and it's probably very slow because there's probably lots of classes going on tonight. You can look at mail from all of your courses, or you can look at mail just from this course if you want to. We can look in the inbox and you have your unread, your starred, things that you have made important, the emails that you have sent, and the archived. I like for you to email me in Canvas because it tells me how many times we have had contact with each other. I've had contact with this student 79 times. Right? If there's ever an issue with Mrs. Mallon never communicated anything with me, I could go to this page and print that and say, we've emailed 79 times. I don't think all 79 of those were from just you. Okay, so then I can print those off. So I'd like for you to send me the email within Canvas. To compose a message, just click on that pencil, select the course, and we're 003. Click on the 2 over here where the instructors are. You can send messages to the students in the class, or you can send a message to me. You can also just type the M there and my last name should come up. And then you'll just come down here. There's a place for you to put a subject, and then you can just type your message. If I'm sending a message out to all of you and I want it to look like I just sent it to you, I can select this. I think you have that same choice, don't you? Then it looks like I took the time to write everybody an email. But I can do that. Or if I send off a message that says, I'm grading today and I notice you have not submitted your homework. Right? It looks like I just targeted you, but I sent it to 6 other people in the class. Right? So you can do it that way. You can also click on this button down here at the bottom, and your camera will come on and your microphone on your laptop, or your camera on your desktop if you have an external camera, and you can send a video message. My court reporting students send me their readbacks through this function. They click on that, their cameras come on, and they do their 1-minute readback to me. It's a weekly assignment. If you want to send me a message that way, you can do that. You also can text me, and that's on that Malin sheet that I gave you, did everybody sign this? There's only 11 on, oh, maybe there's just 11 in here. Yeah, there is. 2 people are absent. Do you know we're now supposed to drop you if you don't come the first day of class? I know, and these people haven't contacted me, so if you're watching this video when it comes up, you better get in touch with me or you're going to be off of the list. But my my cell phone number is up there. If you're working on a problem and it's on Saturday or Sunday, and this Monday we're closed, so you're probably going to be working on homework, you can send me a picture of it. I can't get this to come out. Would you just take a look at it? I don't add you to my contacts, so you have to tell me who you are, what class you're in, and then just ask me the question. Okay? Some of my colleagues think I'm crazy for doing that. I don't have any students that really abuse that. But if you're working on something and you're stuck, you need my help right now. You don't need my help on Monday when I come in and I'm grading papers. You had all day Saturday to do accounting work, and now you're stuck. All right? So don't hesitate to call me or to send me a text. You just have to tell me who you are. I don't know that there's anything else on this sheet that I really need to point out, except the one that's about, 3/4 of the way down. I do hate late work. And late work is only worth half credit. So I'll give you the assignment sheet in just a minute, and all of the due dates are in there. I don't like to use the due dates in Canvas, because if I put a due date in there and I close that assignment, let's say you're trying to do it and it's after that date, I'll still take it. It's only worth half credit, but I don't have to open it back up. So everything's open from August 24th, which was Sunday, until December 15th. Everything. The final worksheet, the study guide is in there. All of your, I think I've published everything. With the new version of Canvas, and they did an upgrade over the summer, I have to publish every assignment. So if you can't get something to open, just send me a message and say, I can't get this to open, maybe I forgot to publish it. It's a new step that we have to do. But I can just let you look at a few chapters at a time if I want to, instead of letting you look at all 16. But everything's open on this course. I didn't do that on this one. All right, and I'm getting emails as we're talking, didn't I? They're just coming up. They're up to 5. Let's go back to our course, and I had to go to courses again from the inbox, and we're 002. It is just a little slow. There's a discussion for the first week to do an introduction to me. My introduction is already there. I put it in yesterday and it disappeared today. I guess it disappeared last night when they did,
Are you sure?
when it came back
I
up.
just saw it.
Yeah,
in
I
there.
was going to say, I'm looking at it right now.
Isn't there a PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Yes, it says my introduction
Yeah.
to PowerPoint presentation.
Isn't the PowerPoint right there?
Yes.
I haven't
Yeah.
clicked on it, but it says show.
Right, I
introduction.
put it in before I came to class.
Oh,
I had to redo it.
Oh, okay.
Did you try to look at it earlier?
I looked at it last night.
Yeah, and it wasn't there. I
It
did
was.
it.
I
Oh,
looked
it
at last night.
was? Oh, okay. Well, I took it off and I put it back on. All right. I don't know. When it goes down like that, it doesn't tell us anything after 3 o'clock that you did is gone. We just find out the hard way that it's not there. So don't hesitate to send me a message to say, something's not opening, it doesn't look right, I can't see this. Just tell me, and then I can, if I'm at my computer, I can fix it. My office hours are in my e-syllabus. I only have class on Tuesday and Thursday morning. My other classes are online. I plan to be here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all day until 6, 4:30 on Thursday, and only by appointment on Friday. It was so nice this summer not to be here on Fridays, and I can get my 35 hours in, as we're supposed to be here 40 hours a week, and you know some of your instructors are not. And I thought, I'm going to make it 35. So I hate to be too predictable, because then the other faculty depend on my being here. But I'll be here 35 hours a week, and you can contact me during that time, or on Friday, you can send me a picture of what you're working on. It's that I won't be available until Monday. I will be, because you have my cell phone number.
So you're available till 6 Monday through Thursday?
Yes. Some Tuesdays I have a class that starts at 6, and on Thursday night I just usually leave it. That's my date night. My husband and I go to dinner on Thursday night, so I just say I'm not teaching a class on Thursday night. So we go out to dinner on Thursday night, and there's not a crowd. We tried to go someplace on Friday night, and I told my husband, I said, that's the worst night to try to go out to eat. The wait was 45 minutes, and I said, I don't want to wait that long. So, when you click on people, you can see everybody in the course. And when you click on the discussions, I have the introduction discussion there, and I have one for all 12 of the chapters. So if you're working on chapter 1 and I haven't responded to your text, put something under chapter 1 and say, I'm working on this homework. Did anybody else have this problem? Was the total wrong in the book? Because sometimes they give you check figures. Under course documents, I have the mistakes for the book typed in there. So you can go back to that and see if there's a mistake on that chapter. Don't trust anything you see in the book, because some of those numbers are wrong. But you can put a discussion out there and say, is anybody else having the same trouble? And somebody else might respond before I do. Help each other, right? You're not in this class alone. You have me, and I think on that Malin sheet it says I can be your best friend. I'm not putting you in my contacts, but I still can be your best friend with answering questions, okay? All right, so under the assignments, I need to show you a little trick with that. Mine looks just a little different than yours, so I'll try to do it in the student view. And sometimes mine doesn't look exactly like yours, but it's similar. When you open up all of the assignments, I have grouped them in there by type, but it doesn't default to type when you open up the assignment. So you have to tell it to sort it by type. See how it says these are all undated? And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's all these chapters are all mixed up. You're going to be looking really hard to try to find all of my assignments. If you will sort it by type, it puts it in a manageable outline. There's my introduction. That's our first discussion, so you can click on that and do it. Here's your course documents. There's the link to the e-syllabus. Here's the Tuesday, Thursday schedule. If you want to do that one, I put that in yesterday, but it stayed for the spring, so I had to redo that one. That was one of the things that didn't change. This is the one that I'm giving you tonight. Here's the information on the Canvas app. This is my business card, I think. Here's just an integrity letter about doing your own work. Other courses that I teach. And a couple of you have said this is the only class you're taking. Do you know if this is the only class you're taking 3 hours, but you paid for 6. There's no breakdown between 1 hour and 6 hours. So if you're only taking this class, let me help you register for something for Flex 2. It's too late to take something now, but Flex 2 we have some 8-week courses. So you might as well get your money's worth if you're only in this one.
And so you can help us register for those, and we don't have to pay any more money, you just
No.
register?
You don't have to pay any more
And when
money.
do you want us to let you know, and how do you want us?
You can just make an appointment and come by to see me, or you can do it after class. We can't put you in just yet. I think it's another 2 weeks before we can put you into the Flex 2 classes. But I can certainly help you do that. We have several courses that are in your degree plan that are going to be offered for Flex 2. And then a couple others that aren't on your degree plan. My Outlook class is Flex 2. It's not on your degree plan, but it's an online 1-credit class if you're interested in that. So there are some things out there that are available. Okay, so get your money's worth. I've also put some other things in here. This is the Paula's Boutique PowerPoint, which is one of the simulations we'll do. Here's the test reviews. So when you go to the test reviews, I have the review sheet up there for test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, and the final. You'll know exactly what's on the test. I don't like secrets and I don't like surprises. So I'll tell you exactly what's on your test. You can start studying now. This is what's going to be on your chapters 1 and 2 tests. That's your first test. I also give a progress report after each test. So I'll be scanning those and sending those to you in an email. Oh, it didn't like that, did it? Oh, because I'm in student view. I'm still in the student view. If there's something that we talk about in class and I don't have that on the PowerPoint, or you're just interested in something, just tell me. I can usually find it and put that up there. There's the errors in the book. Here's the My Accounting Lab for fall. I'm going to give you that sheet tonight. Here's just the My Accounting Lab hint. Sometimes you have to allow plugins on that. In Canvas, you have to allow pop-ups. Have you had that message yet? Okay. Here's how to navigate in Canvas. You can do a little bit of training on that website. We are updating the degree plan, and as soon as I get that copied, I'll put the new one in here. But you can look at this one right now. It's the marketable skills certificate, the accounting certificate, and the 2-year degree. So that's all of them. And I think someone today found, oh, maybe I put it all together. It's the change the major form. So if you need to change your major to accounting technology, just print out that form. That's the form that we're using. Yes?
Since we're talking about that, I know that you have accounting and then you have accounting technology. Do you teach both?
No, I don't teach any of the accounting. Well, I teach the QuickBooks and the Peachtree. So I have some business majors that are taking those 2 courses for me. And this semester I offered a new class that's called QuickBooks Certified User. It's the testing through Certiport. So it's the same people that do the testing for the Microsoft Office Specialist, and we will be a certified QuickBooks user. You just have to have the QuickBooks class before you take that. Our dean wanted us to offer more certificates. I met these people. Well, I had taken the Microsoft Office certification. They're not easy tests, not at all. They offered me a chance to give it to my students for $99, which are 3 practice tests, a real test, and then a retake. And I said yes. I have 15 in the class. So I have 27 in the QuickBooks class this semester. That class usually always is over the limit. 25 is the limit, but they've put a couple more in there. And you can take that class after you finish this one. And then you could be a certified user when you take that other class. It's a 2-credit class. So you can pick up my card. It's over there on the table. If you want to set up an appointment for advising, you can print those off, maybe check off the things you think you've already had. Print off that major change if you want to change it to accounting technology. It's a fast degree, I think. Because you get that marketable skills, then you get the certificate, then you get the degree. So if you already have some hours, some of those will transfer in. If you've taken classes at another campus or another school, those can come in. We can do a reverse transfer.
So why separate them? Why is there a separation between both?
With the accounting technology, If you are taking the transfer accounting degree from SAC and you're transferring to a four-year institution, you're not taking very many accounting classes. You're taking your Principles 1, your Principles 2, and possibly the Intro to Accounting. QuickBooks and Peachtree are not on your degree plan. The QuickBooks Certified User is not something you're looking at. You're taking your English, your science, your humanities. You're taking all of your core courses to transfer. And then you'll take your accounting classes when you get to the four-year institution. When you're doing the accounting technology, you can leave here and find a job. When you finish the business accounting degree, you don't have very many accounting courses. I don't know that you've taken Excel. In the accounting technology, you've had beginning Excel and the advanced Excel. You've had QuickBooks and Peachtree. You've had integrated software. You've had a payroll class. You've had a business tax class, business English. None of those classes are part of your degree if you're transferring to a four-year. Now, some of the four-year institutions will take your accounting technology degree. So if you're interested in transferring, communicate with that school. Ask them what they'll take. They may take all of your core courses, which are on your two-year degree. Find out which math they will take. They probably want college algebra. You don't have to have college algebra for a technology degree. You can do math for the liberal arts major. So you don't have to take the algebra if you're worried about taking that class. But I have a lot of students that have been able to find jobs. I've had some students that have found jobs just after taking the QuickBooks class. Because if you look at accounting jobs in the paper, what's the number one thing that they're looking for? Somebody that knows QuickBooks. Now we have QuickBooks and Peachtree. In Peachtree you have to know accounting. In QuickBooks you really don't have to know, you don't have to be an accounting minded person to do QuickBooks. It was really designed for the amateur business person, the person that didn't know much about accounting. But you can look behind the scenes in QuickBooks to see the accounting transaction. Does anybody use QuickBooks now? Okay. Do you look behind the scenes? Do you know the debits and credits?
It's challenging.
Yes, it can be.
Especially the new, updated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hasn't been so much fun, no.
Okay.
That's when I call an actual accountant and have her.
Oh, to come and look at it. Yeah.
Yes, try to look a lot.
Well, maybe after this course you'll understand more what it's doing.
Yes, that's
You
the
might.
hope.
Because I think we have different concepts about what we think a debit is and a credit is. I haven't asked you that yet, but I'll be sending you an email to ask you what those mean.
Can I ask you
Yes.
a question that's going to sound really asinine of me, but I can't seem to figure out, okay, so you showed us not by date but by type on the
Yes.
classes, and I checked on the syllabus and I don't know if I'm just not seeing it because I'm not navigating it correctly, but there's no end dates for like when the assignments are.
Well, I haven't given you the assignment sheet yet.
Okay.
It has the due dates
Well,
on it.
thank you.
I'll
That
give you
makes me
that.
feel much better.
But it's
now.
also right here, the assignment sheet, and it has the due dates on it.
All right.
I like for everything to be due on Sunday night at midnight. Okay? So that gives you all week to do it. So that's the first part of this with the course documents. Here's the certificates and the degrees, and also it has the major change. Chapter 1, and all of the chapters are very similar. There's the Chapter 1 discussion that you'll use if you have a question about something in Chapter 1 and somebody else can help you in the class. I put the PowerPoints in there that I use when I make the videos, but that's just the PowerPoint. So if you want to look at the PowerPoint or you want to print that PowerPoint so that you have it while you're watching my video, because you're not going to see me face to face. You're going to have to assume that you're still going to have 3 hours of classwork to do for the course, which is the online part, and then about 3 hours of homework. So you need to plan 5 to 6 hours. I think it's a little faster to do the homework in my accounting lab, but you've got to do the demo problem so you know how to do the test, because the test will be paper and pencil. You'll be coming in here to take the test.
Still got an email response from the link you posted?
Oh, it's on my phone. I haven't done it because
Okay,
I'm
just
talking.
making sure that-
Oh yeah, I have to do it since I'm the administrator on
Sorry
that
about
website. Yeah, that's okay. But I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank
I might not do it tonight. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, but it'll be out there soon enough. Okay.
you. You said 6 hours of, basically,
Well, when you're taking an online class, you have the class time. I meet on Tuesday and Thursday from 10:50 until 12:40. We meet 2 days a week. That's your class time, right? You'll still have to do your reading for your chapter. You'll still need to look at the summaries at the back of the book. I'm still looking for the questions, those types of things. That's part of your homework. Taking time to watch the video lecture, that's that classroom work that you'll be doing. So I would say 3 hours of classwork and 3 hours of homework. Now some chapters might be a little faster, but this for chapter 1, I have 3 exercises for you to do and 3 problems. And you don't just want to rush through those, because if you have mistakes on those, then I'm not giving you a 100 on that homework. All right, so you can practice things. When you get into my accounting lab, it has problems that are similar to the ones that I've assigned. You can do those first, and then you can take the ones that I'm going to be grading. Every problem that's in our book is open in my accounting lab. I opened all of them up. Because some of my students like to do every single problem. They can't get enough of the accounting. You'll know after this class whether you really like accounting or whether you never want to take another accounting class again.
That's why.
You'll know it.
That's why I didn't sign up for anything else, because I was afraid, I don't know what to expect. And you're right, either I'll like
You
it
won't.
or-
And some of my students that are administrative assistant, they wait until the very end to take this class because they say, I know it's hard and I know I'm going to have a lot of homework. And then they take the class and they say, oh, I wish I had done accounting technology instead of administrative assistant. Your earning power is greater, because when we think of administrative assistant, that's a clerical position. If you have a little bit of accounting, this is the only accounting class that's required on administrative assistant. And I've had several students that have waited until the very end to take this course, and then they love it. You'll either love accounting or you'll hate it. And you'll know in this class. You'll know. I love it. There's nothing gray about it. It's either right or it's wrong. It's black or it's white. There's nothing in between. It has to be exact.
Yes.
Can't be close. I always say close only counts in hand grenades, slow dancing, and horseshoes. That's it. Can't be close. Has to be exact. And when you're doing my accounting lab, if it's not exact, guess what? It marks it wrong. And it tells me how many mistakes you had on there. So do the ones that are similar to first, so that you can get the answers correct. You only get one shot at that. Okay? Now you can do the demo problem. I recorded the demo problem. The pages are in there. They're also in your little workbook. It says demo problem to 1. We work through that in class on Tuesday and Thursday. And I walk around the room while we do the pencil to the paper for those demo problems. I recorded it. You have the video. You can watch it over and over and over again. You can do this because I've already recorded the lectures. Last semester, the students had to wait until Tuesday for me to publish the videos. But I already have all 16 weeks in there. So could you finish this course early? Could you work ahead? You probably could. But you will know whether you like it or not. Do I have students that make A's in here? Yes. Do I have students that make F's in here? Yes. When we look at the assignment sheet, it's the homework that kills the grade. It's 30% of your grade. And if you don't do the homework, you have to have a 100 on everything to have a 70 in the class. And I don't think you'll get a 100 on everything. It's not easy, I'll tell you that. But is it doable to get an A? Yes. I told you I don't like surprises. I told you right up front I'm going to tell you exactly what's on the test. We'll do some paper simulations that will look exactly like your test, and there are 4 of those. And I've got another sheet to give you that will look at that, okay? But let's finish looking at just chapter 1 in Canvas before I give you the rest of the handouts, okay? So for chapter 1, I have the discussion if you have a question, the PowerPoint, that's just the PowerPoint that I use during the lecture. You can print that at home before you watch the video if you want to. The chapter 1 questions, that will be where you submit your questions from the book. And there's 15 with chapter 1. I like complete sentences, I like punctuation, I don't like text shortcuts, and I don't like for you to write the question. So let's say the question is, what is the accounting equation? The answer would be, the accounting equation is blah, 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 blah. Don't write the question. Okay? Incorporate the question. When Toyota came here and they said that people in San Antonio can't write a simple memo, I'm going to prove them wrong. My students will be able to write at least a little bit. You've got to practice your writing. And so that's why I want those incomplete sentences. So has everybody submitted something in Canvas before? Anybody that hasn't?
Before today?
Yes. Let me just open it so you can see, because I think I'm still in the student view. So I'm going to select the questions. All right, and it says there's no content in here because you have to put the content in. This is the assignment. Click on Submit an Assignment, and I've loaded it so that you can do a file upload, which if you typed it in Word, you can do that. I've also selected it that you can put a text entry in. So if I select File Upload, I'm going to click on Browse, and I'm going to find it on my computer and upload it. If it's more than one document, then we have to add another file. I think you can add up to 20 files. Okay? Now, if you don't have Word, I just clicked on text entry. You can type your answers right there. And then when you're finished, you're going to submit the assignment. It works just like Word. There's the bold, there's the italics, there's the underline, you can center. You just won't have it saved anywhere. And you shouldn't need the HTML because you'll have to put some code in there if you use that. Just use the Word and then submit the assignment.
So when we're able to respond to something, will it say the possible points, and then we click on it, it'll have the question in there?
I only have you do the questions in Canvas. I have you do the other things in my accounting lab, which goes with the book. I like to use Canvas as the communication, the place where I put your grades. You'll see your grades from my accounting lab in Canvas. You don't have to upload anything from my accounting lab. I go in there and grade it.
Oh,
Right. I'll grade it from my accounting lab. And you'll see I have the day class and the night class together. So I just grade everybody's my accounting lab together.
I've just never done a lab.
Right. It's very good. And it has every single problem open. So you can, if you just can't get enough accounting, you can do everything. And I've had some students that do everything. They just love it. They just can't get enough of the accounting. And like I said, you'll find out in this class whether you're one of those lovers or whether you're an accounting hater. But you'll know. Yes, Naomi.
On the question, when we type them out, did you want us to write out the questions and the answers?
No question.
Just the answers?
So if the question is, what is the accounting equation? The answer would be, the accounting equation is, so restate the question and the answer. Try to reformat the question. If it's a yes or no answer, I don't want just yes or no. I want to have what that question was so you could go back and actually study from it.
Where do you find the questions for each?
Oh, they're in the book.
At the
Do you want me
very
to show you which page it's on? If you don't have your book, just look on somebody else's. I think it's on page, sometimes my pages are different than yours. The questions are on page 30 in my book, and there's 15 of them. The discussion questions and the critical thinking ethical questions, and there's 15 on that one. The exercises that are in my accounting lab are the same exercises that are in the book. If you want to do them on paper first, you can do them on paper, then do them in my accounting lab. Some of my day students will do the problems in my accounting lab and then put them on paper, because they have to turn theirs in paper. I don't have them do all of their problems. They do their exercises in my accounting lab, but they do their problems on paper. If you want to do your problems on paper and turn those in, I have a yellow folder on the outside of my office on 324A. You can drop those in there and I'll grade them. Anybody coming to campus? Okay, so.
I'll be on campus once a week, like twice a week.
Well, if you want to do them on paper, it doesn't bother me to grade them on paper. I had to really take a giant step to offer this class online, because I like to see the paper pencil. I think that's where you really learn it. But I can't require you to turn in paper pencil when it's an online class. But if you want to do it paper and pencil, I'll be more than happy to grade it.
But you did say we could do the chapters, so if we did all the assignments online minus the tests, we just do the homework in labs at home.
And then you only come for the test.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all 6 have to be submitted 1 week, and all their 6 chapters submitted the next week.
No, we'll do one at a time, one chapter at a time. There's 16 weeks, there's 12 chapters. And I'll give you the assignment sheet in just a minute. I haven't given you that yet. Okay? I'm not going to give you I'm not going to give you too much to do per week.
Thank you.
And each problem will tell you how long it should take you to do it. 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. And I try to set it so that I haven't given you 3 problems that take an hour each.
Just started doing 3 internet classes, so just
You'll
kinda
be
wanna get them knocked
glued.
out.
Do you know, when I was taking my master's classes, I got calluses here from my chair at my computer, just from sitting there. So, I sit at my computer all day long. I do, and I'm not taking any more classes. I'm just managing the classes. Yeah, I know. So just pace yourself. You don't want to wait until Saturday to do all of your accounting work. If you can do the reading, if you can do the questions, you have to find that schedule. Maybe on Mondays you always want to do the accounting work. You just have to find a schedule. I love working in my pajamas. Sometimes I wake up early, 2:30 this morning, and I just get up and do things. So that's when I would work on my classes. I think your mind processes at night. So if there's something that's really challenging and you think about it before you go to bed, then I think you just keep working on it, and I could get up and then do the problem. So if you read the chapter, maybe before you go to bed, and then the next morning when you get up, you're ready to answer those questions. Okay? If you're doing the questions, you're at least looking through the chapter. There's a method to all of my assignments. Some students don't read the chapter. Some students will be very successful just watching my video. I don't really assign that you have to read it. It says on the assignment schedule, read the chapter and do the questions in complete sentences and submit in Canvas. Do I know whether you read it or not, or whether you just watched my video? Probably not. So you find what works for you. I cover just about everything that's in the chapter in the video. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yes.
These are the ones.
They're on page 30. They say discussion
critical
questions and critical thinking ethical case. There are some questions that go with, I don't know, something in here that I don't use. I think it's that subway assignment. I don't use everything in the book. I like the chapter summary at the back of the book. That's a good study guide before you take the test. In my book, it's on page 28 for chapter 1. And it's 2 pages. It tells you exactly what page to go to look it up. They did all the hard work for us in here. The problems are right after the exercises. You're doing 1, 3, and 5. It says exercise 1 should take 5 minutes. Exercise 3 should take 10 minutes, and exercise 5 should take 20 minutes. Could be a little shorter in my accounting lab. The problems, we're doing 1, 3, and 5. We're doing the A problems for fall. And it says that problem 1 should take 15 minutes. Problem 3 should take 20 minutes. And problem 5 should take 45 minutes. So plan it. 5 is more difficult. Do them in order, 1, 3, and 5. And I try to just pick out the ones that will cover everything that we've done. We're not doing any of the B problems except for 1. And I did select a B problem because my demo is the A problem. I think there are questions that go after the subway case. Mine's on page 37 and 38, but you're not doing that. You're not assigned that problem. Okay, so you can look at it if you want to, but I think I already gave you enough homework. You'll agree. Okay? All right, let me give you the rest of the forms. I'm a checker off person, so I like to see that I have completed the assignments. You can check them on your progress report to see if I've recorded everything. The homework assignments, they are all worth 1 point. And if we're meeting in class, if we're meeting on a Tuesday night, that's an attendance point. So always give a point for coming for that class. All right, so on the assignment check sheet, I have all of the assignments listed. Some of them are optional for you. If you're on campus and you want to do the lab tutors, there's such a good review of what's on the test, but I'm not going to tell you that you have to do them. There's a lab tutor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7 and 8 are together, and then 9 and 10. You only have to get an 85, and then on the last 2 you only need to get a 75. I'll give you the assignment sheet if you want to come in. Some of you are going to be here on campus. It's just up to you. I'm not taking off points if you don't do those. It's just something extra that you can come in and do. I have the questions and the workbook pages. Those will include your exercises and your problems. For the online, I usually do them separate. I do an exercise grade and then I do a problem grade. So you'll have a few more points for your homework. We'll do Atlas and Zell one night, and that's on our assignment schedule. It's the 2 Peachtree computerized accounting simulations. It will just take us about an hour and a half to do those 2. And so we'll meet and we'll do that. If you want to come during the day when I do it with my class, you're more than welcome to come in there during the day. And I'll be sending you an email when we do it. We have 4 simulations that we'll do: the Sullivan, Billy's Market, Paula's Boutique, and Callahan, they're paper and pencil. I'll have the copies made for you that I'll give out on the day we take the test, but you also can print them there in Canvas. So I already have them out there. Those are the preps that you'll do before you take the major test. It'll just help you be successful on those tests. We have 4 tests, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The final exam. When we do Peachtree, you'll need a travel drive. If you're coming and you're going to print anything on campus, just bring me a ream of paper. And that's optional. It's just an extra credit if you want to. The self-addressed stamped envelope, if you want a printed progress report at the end of the semester, because you never know what you make on the final. Never goes anywhere except for me. You just know what you made in the class. You'll get so used to my progress reports that you'll want to know what you got on the final. So just bring me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I'll print it, stick it in the envelope, and mail it to you. The evaluation certificate is the course climate. Forward that email to me at the end of the semester. It's worth extra credit. There's 2 computerized simulations, Sullivan and Pete's, that are in Peachtree. They're extra credit, but you'd have to come here to do it. I have Peachtree in this room, so you have to decide. If you don't need the extra credit and you can't come in, then that's not an option for you. But if you need the extra credit, and you'll know after you take the first test whether you need some extra credit. There's a go ahead.
I'm sorry, and the time, every time you talk about coming in, would it have to be during the morning class?
No, we'll be doing some of it during the test.
So we can do extra credit the day we come to the test?
This room is open. It's open from 1 o'clock until 6 o'clock. So you could come early. If you're on campus, I can tell you when the room will be open once we get all of the classes scheduled.
So the days that we take the test, we're only here from 6?
6 to about 8.
I'm sorry, 6 to 8.
6, probably no later than 8. I hope we won't be here that long. Okay, we're almost done. Yeah, because your test, it takes us a few minutes to get ready for the test. And then I usually give you the simulation that we'll do before we take the next test. So we have a little bit of work that we need to do in class. I just cannot surrender the test to an online test. I want to see you do the work. So I'm not there yet. Have any of you had to sign into the biosignature for a...
Yes.
Yeah. I know. Okay, I'm not doing that either.
Would we have the option to come into your day class to take a test?
Yes.
Wait, so
Yes. If you want to come during the day to take the test, you can do that.
Will it be considered late because those are on
No.
different days?
Theirs are on Tuesdays, which is when yours is.
The dates are all, okay.
The dates are
The
on?
dates are all
What's it
different.
say?
Like for their, let me scroll back up on here. Their test one.
Because they only meet on Tuesday and Thursday.
Scroll back up here real quick. I mean, the way
It's
it looks,
usually on the
looks like
same
the
day.
test is on September 21st. I mean, it's
What's
like right
the
next
date?
to where it says September 21st.
Oh, it might be,
I mean, it says September 15th, and then it's got a couple things next to it, and then it says September 21st, and that's where it says, here's the test. But I don't know what day that is. Let me double
They're
check.
taking,
I mean, the 21st is a Sunday, so.
yeah, let's see. What's it say?
So, I mean.
Oh, that's just the whole week.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's their week. Their week goes from Tuesday to Tuesday. So we're taking the test on Tuesday, which would be the Tuesday of this week.
Okay.
So the week of the 15th, it's the 16th that they're taking their test. It's the same day as yours.
Okay, but we can
Except
come in during
yours
the
is
day
at
except
9.
at night.
The question was, could you come in during the day to take your test? Yes. Okay, doesn't bother me. You just have to tell me that you're coming, so I'll bring enough tests. All right, so we have the Sullivan and the Pete's at the bottom, and you also have a continuing problem that's in my accounting lab that goes from Chapter 1 to Chapter 12, and you have access to that. That's also extra credit. Do you have to decide now if you want to do that? No. All right, you can wait until we take the first test. Let me give you the rest of my handouts. Chapter 1 talks about the International Financial Reporting Standards. There's been some discussion about the United States going to this. We haven't yet. We're still using the GAAP for the United States, and I'll give you a copy of that. The IFRS has a lot more regulations than the GAAP has, and we're still, I don't know why that keeps, maybe I'm not moving it enough. The accounting concepts, business entity is that a business is separate from the owner's finances. The going concern is that we assume that a business will go on forever. The unit of measurement, what is the unit of measurement in the United States? The dollar. Yeah. So it's just the regulations that we use. I'm passing back the assignment sheet with your due dates on there. I think the most important part of this is to turn to the back, page 6. And it's the part that says, subject to change by instructor of record. Because if we're having problems with something, we're going to change this. If we need to spend a little bit more time on something, Ms. Mallon, I really need for you to explain the payroll just a little bit more. Find another video so I can change this. All right, that's the most important part on there. I try to plan the whole 16 weeks, but sometimes I've missed something on there. I try to put all of the days that we're going to be closed. You can see we're closed on Monday. I've put in bold when we're meeting for our test. We're meeting again on Tuesday, September 16th. That's the same day that my students are taking their test during the day. I think that's the day that I'm going to be in Chicago for a meeting. So I always try to plan when we take our test in here that I can get somebody to give the test. Can't find anybody that will lecture in accounting, but they don't mind giving the test. So I think that is one. It's either test 1 or test 2. I can't remember which, but I took on another responsibility outside of school that the dean supported, and she said she would support my travel, so I said I would do it. The midterm grades are due October 20th. We're closed on Wednesday, October 29th for Employee Development Day. I have the last day to drop. It's after test 3. We're going to meet again on Tuesday, November 18th to do the Peachtree, the Atlas, and the Zell. And we'll just meet that night to do it. It'll be real fast. It's right before the Thanksgiving holiday. And then we'll take our 4th test on Tuesday, November 25th. Our final exam will be that last week, and it's on Tuesday night. Or you can come during the exam during the day, but I don't know what that day is yet. It's always, we have to follow the exam schedule. Do you have a question for me? Okay. On page 5, let's just look at the grading standards. I've already gone over the supplies, but you can look at that again. The ream of paper, if you're going to come in here and print anything, just bring me the paper, and it is extra credit in this class. My day students have to bring me paper because I copy their demos. You're printing at home if you're doing the demo. The grading in here, 30% of your grade comes from your homework and your computer assignments. That's a big percent. But you should be able to get a 100 on that. 20%'s coming from your mini practice sets, and there are 4 of those. Those are the ones that are in bold that are on that checkoff sheet that I gave you. They're paper and pencil. I do not mind checking those. I can check every transaction if you want me to. You can send me a picture of it and I'll check it. You can come by during my office hours and I'll check it. I don't mind checking it, and the checks are free. You can get a 100 on all of those. Now, if I tell you when it's due and you turn it in early, I usually offer extra points on it. So you can always turn in something early for extra points. The test, and we have 4 of them, are worth 35%. That's a big chunk too. The first test, you have no idea what kind of test I give. You might not do very well on the first test, and then again I have 100s on my test. I like 100s. So I'm not the type of teacher that says nobody's going to get a 100 on my test. I do have 100s. So we have 4 of those. It's funny, sometimes the students that do really well on the first test do poorly on the second test. I don't know whether they're just overconfident when they take the second test and they haven't prepared. And then on the third test, just about everybody does a good job on the third test. But you'll get a progress report after each one, so you'll know where you are, okay, whether you need to be looking at that extra credit. Remember, so far, ream of paper, that workbook that you have, I'll collect that white envelope at the end of the semester because you'll have extra worksheets and payroll registers. The extra credit that I offered on here. So you have several extra credits already. You may not even need those. So that totals are 100. I don't like late work. I don't like incomplete work. And each homework assignment is worth 1 point. So tonight, the people that are here have 1 point for coming to class. Okay? So you only get about 6 points for homework. The day students get 31. So their homework changes, and I take the total number of homework points and then the total number that they earned. So your grade will still be reflecting what you've done in your class. I'm not going to give you the same total that they have because you're not meeting that many times. If you want to come to that day class, you know when it is. You can always come to that. I did list the demonstration problems on the back of that and which pages you'll be using. They're also in Canvas.
For the USB, do we only need it on the Peachtree
Yes.
night? Are you going to be collecting those?
No.
Okay.
You just need to save it.
Okay.
In case you don't get finished, and then you need to come back in and try to finish it, I just want you to be able to back it up.
Okay.
And it can have other things on it. All right, I'm giving you this optional practical accounting tutor.
Yeah. Sunday at midnight, whatever.
If you'll go ahead and minimize your Canvas, I want to show you where this is on the computers. I like this little tutor. Nestor and Bob, who are the technicians here, they didn't like that I wanted to continue using this because it came from about the 7th edition of the book, and we're on the 12th. But some of the questions are worded exactly like my test, and I think it's a good review. So if you're on campus and you have a few minutes and this room's not being used, come in here and do those. You don't have to do all of them. I'll just make it a homework point, and maybe it will go in as an extra homework point because you'll have to make an extra effort to come in here to do it. All right, on the desktop, there should be Accounting Tutor, and it's right below the QuickBooks Virtual. It just says Accounting Tutor. I don't think it's on the teacher desktop, so I'm not going to bring it up.
How do we know when this particular app is available and free
That is the only one that you have to do in here, the accounting tutor. It's old. It's in a virtual machine in here. I just like it. And it's a good review. So it's there for you if you want to watch it. And there's also some accounting videos on that desktop too.
Yes, but my question was, this room is used for classes?
Oh, there'll be a sign on the outside of the door.
That's what I'm.
Yes, there'll be a sign as soon as we figure out which classes are in here. Right now, I'm the only one in here on Tuesday and Thursday. So after 1 o'clock, and my class doesn't start until 10:50, there were people in here working this morning until my class started.
So you're available here on Tuesday and Thursday?
Sarah is usually here. She's our secretary. She's usually here about 7:30. So if you get here early and you want to come in, I don't want you to have to come in to do this, but I want you to know that it's available because I think it will be a good review. All right, so you'll have to log in to the virtual computer, and again, it's Caps Lock OST. And then when you get to the welcome screen, it says type in your name, and it doesn't save anything. So if you type in your name tonight, it's not going to remember that your name was there. It's that old. I know when I told the guys I wanted it back in here, that is so old. And I said, I don't care. I like it. And the questions are tricky. They're worded just like some of the multiple choice questions are because they're all multiple choice. And I think you have to learn how to take a multiple choice test. So you haven't used it before, so you're going to tell it no. And then it just has to go through its little orientation, and then you can just say continue, or maybe it says next. Continue, okay, so continue. Now there's lots of things on here that you can come in to practice with, but there's only the one item that I'm going to grade, and that's the challenger. So you see the muscle guy, we're going to click on him when he comes up on the screen where we can get into the challenger. So when you click on that, you'll see a main menu, and you'll see what I just printed for you. Chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are together, and then 9 and 10. So you can click on number 1, chapter 1, and then click on the challenger over to the left, the muscle guy, and that gives us the quiz. There's 20 questions. You only have to have an 85 to get the 1 point. And for the last 2, you only have to have a 75. So you don't have to get a 100 to get the 1 point. But it just gives you a chance to do another review of what's going to be on the test. You know when the test is. Maybe that Tuesday you can come in and do this for chapters 1 and 2, because our first test will be chapters 1 and 2. And then you'll have 2 homework points added in, which will be chapter 1 and chapter 2. They're separate. Now, it doesn't save, so when you get your score and it says 85, we need to print it. If it doesn't just automatically go to the printer, there's a print screen button on the keyboard. Do you see that next to the F12? Next to the F12, it says print screen. You'll need to go back to the regular part of the computer, not the virtual, because you're in the virtual machine right now with the green screen behind it, and open up Word and hit Control and V, and it will paste what you just copied from the screen. If ever you're working on something and it's not letting you print, even in my QuickBooks and my Peachtree class, I always tell my students, print the screen, save it as a PDF in Word. It'll just print that picture of what your screen looks like. If you're printing it, sometimes you have to pull the little print screen off of it to send it to the printer. You don't want it to cover your score. You need for me to be able to see the score. So that's my accounting tutor, different from my accounting lab. You can go ahead and exit out of that because it's not going to save, but it's just another option for you to practice. You can't do it at home. But you can do My Accounting Lab. That's what I'm giving you next.
And then how do you go back?
It should just let you close that. No? Click the start and just shut that one down. It's in the virtual machine. All right, I'm giving you the sheet for My Accounting Lab. This is the last handout that we have. Sometimes in Canvas, you have to allow the pop-ups. You get a little message across the top, and you just need to click on the options and allow pop-ups for that website. Sometimes when you're using My Accounting Lab, it says that you need to allow a plug-in. And up in the upper left-hand corner, I want to say it's red. Could be yellow. There's just, it looks like a Lego block to me, but it's supposed to be a plug. And if your problems won't open, click on that little plug-in, and then it will open. I don't know, I can't tell you that it works best in Firefox or Chrome or Internet Explorer. I've just quit using Internet Explorer. I think Firefox works well, and I think Canvas works the best in Google Chrome.
Yes, I learned that already.
I just don't think Internet Explorer has kept up with the changes with the new websites and things. I was reading an article the other day that they're talking about changing their name because I think they have a bad reputation right now. They're not working. They need to do some updates. I think they've just, it's all we had for a while. I think people just automatically